What's up, weirdo? Shadetree Surgeon here, back with Shaylisi, Mother of Frogs, Queen of all the Florida men, with the two most inoffensive bikes in history. Born to be mild, baby. Mild, definitely mild. I almost feel bad. I just got these new Odin gloves, and everyone's going to be like, are you sponsored by Odin? I bought these. I paid for these. I saw that these came out. They're a collab with Indestructible, and I thought they looked so freaking cool. I was like, dude, I'm buying a pair of these right away. I probably could have got them sent to me for free, but I like to give real reviews. And if you're going to give a real review, you probably should pay for it. Those are freaking awesome. Way too awesome for the Gold Wing, even though my Gold Wing has leather eagles right on the handlebars.
I haven't ridden this bike in a
You haven't dropped it in a while either. Oh, ramming speed, baby. It feels just a little bit faster with these double eagles on the top of my hands here. Obviously, I bought these gloves because I think they look freaking awesome. And they're Odin gloves. Odin gloves are always awesome. I wear pretty much nothing but Odin gloves, so I already think they're great. And yes, I paid for them. They're going to take a little bit of breaking in, which is not weird for a brand new pair of leather gloves. Although I will tell you, I'm not going to be breaking these in until it cools down a little bit in Florida. I wanted to wear them today because I thought they were so cool and I just freaking got them, but these are definitely going to be my wintertime gloves because they are not ventilated. Definitely going to be needing them because we're going to the Stubborn American Campout at K River Campgrounds with Adam Sandoval. I've been wanting to go to K River Campground for a long time, and hey man, seems like the Stubborn American Campout is as good a reason as any to head over there and finally meet. And funny enough, me and Adam Sandoval have passed like ships in the night at so many different events, but I've never actually met the dude. Been watching his videos for years, been totally jealous of him living off his bike for so long, so finally excited to meet the man in person and press some flesh. And of course, get drunk as hell and party with anybody else who's going to be at K River the first weekend of October. Again, it's the Stubborn American Campout. All the info for that is going to be on Adam Sandoval's Instagram, I'm sure, and his website or whatever else he does. Right now, tentatively, we'll see what happens. It's going to be myself, Shaylisi, Flipna, and maybe even Arab Honey. Now that she has a motorcycle, we'll see if she's going to make that trek out there or not. And of course, yes, we will be riding. And I'm about as sure we're going to go as I am about as sure as anything's going to happen. It's a couple months away, and in my world, a couple months is a freaking eternity. But I am planning on going. October's going to be a busy month for us, man. We got the K River Stubborn American Campout the first weekend of October. And then, of course, as you guys should know already, the third weekend of October is going to be my campout at the Forgotten Angels compound. I'm hoping Adam Sandoval can come down for my campout too. We'll see what he can do. I know he's got his hands full running the K River campground, so I mean, I'm not like going like, man, you gotta come, but that'd be pretty cool. I'm gonna see if I can talk him into it. As much as I love this Florida heat, man, we roll out once the sun starts going down because it's pretty much the only time you can really get away with being comfortable on a bike during the August is when the sun's going down here at dusk. It's just this beautiful, thick Florida air, which is probably still too hot for a lot of you Yankees, but it's just about right for me. Me and Shay just looked outside and it just got done raining. We said it is way too nice outside right now. Let's hop on the bikes and head out to our favorite place in the shadiest, or maybe even now that we've been to Alafaya Brewery, maybe even the second shadiest strip mall I've ever been to. Because the one Alafaya Brewery was in, that was a pretty shady strip mall. This one was nasty, that's for sure. Nothing like the one that Alafaya was in. Of course, this sketchy strip mall is also protecting one of my favorite restaurants in Tampa Bay. Actually, scratch that. Not one of my favorite restaurants. I'm just going to go ahead and say my favorite restaurant in Tampa Bay. Hey, what's up, man? Thank you, dude. Come by the Shame sometime. Let me buy you a beer, man. The second shadiest strip mall and the best restaurant in Tampa. I'm, of course, talking about the one and only Stein and Vine.
Alright, in true Shadetree tradition, there can't be a
stick-shaped food on the menu and me not get it. Sloppy Joe dogs, dude. I hope we're gonna go watch Blade Runner later at home on the couch. So I hope you guys are ready for this. I'm about to float the roof off our house with the farts I'm making from this. Delicious. Okay, leaving Stein and Vine in possession of a very rare item, a to-go box.
Is it me?
Oh yes, and Shayleesi, of course. Normally I don't take to-go boxes, but man, I'll tell you, those sloppy Jose did me in. I knew if I had two, I would be having a bad day, and I'm trying to have a good day.
I always leave with a to-go box. So.
Yeah, she took like one bite. She just goes, I've had my bite, let's go. All right, y'all, it's the next day. I got a big old stack of orders going all over the world, all the way from Idaho to Norway. You're in charge of these. Be careful. Precious cargo. All your sticker orders hand-delivered aboard the mail-order glide, clutched with loving care by the clammy hands of Arab Honey. I always feel bad wearing a helmet while my passenger is not wearing a helmet. Like, I feel like kind of a jerk, but then I would offer Arab Honey my helmet, but I think she would prefer to not wear a helmet rather than stick this smelly thing on her head. These aren't even the orders from when I made the announcement. I actually, it feels like I'm sucking my own dick here, but the stuff sells out so fast. I let my Patreon have first crack at it. So if you're a part of my Patreon, you got these are actually your stickers that are going out now, and your orders. I delivered the T-shirts earlier. These are your stickers that are going out now, and unfortunately for everyone else, Patreon already cleaned me out of a few different designs. Can you reach?
Put them in there?
Yeah, just shove them in there. They're in the hands of the USPS now. Hopefully they get there. It seems wild, doesn't it? Just like, oh, this little piece of paper is just going to make it all the way to Norway. We'll just drop it in this metal box. See ya. It's like a game. Hey, here's your ticket. Thanks for playing. Will it get there? I don't know. Okay, luckily we're not going super far. So normally I don't let a passenger get on the bike without wearing a helmet, but you know what, man? We're just going down the block, which of course is when everybody says everything happens, right? It's just when you're going down the block when something bad happens. Enjoy these fleeting moments on the back of the bike, okay? Coming up here pretty soon, this is not going to be the case anymore. All right, we're headed over to look at a couch for Arab Honey's apartment because every time I go to hang out with her, we have to trade off on the chair. So it's like we're sitting down trying to watch a TV show, and we basically, like every other TV show, every half hour, like I get to stand and she gets to sit, or vice versa. So we really need a better solution here. And everyone says IKEA, it's so cheap, but even for someone like Arab Honey, IKEA is pretty expensive. Luckily, right next to one of the cheapest places is an even cheaper place, Mattress and Furniture Super Center. This is the Boom Boom store. This is way more your speed, kid. Oh yeah, everyone's like, IKEA's cheap. Like, dude, oh my god, I don't know what middle class you're living in where IKEA's cheap. No, we're going to the Super Center. We're gonna get sold a freaking half-used couch from China by a freaking Egyptian dude with a fresh-ass fade and a cut-in beard and a gold chain. All right, Arab Honey's gonna kill me because she didn't know we were filming today, so she didn't put on any makeup.
I look like garbage.
Oh, I don't think you look like garbage.
No, I just look a little more Arab.
I think you look like hot garbage, baby. All right, what was this one?
It's a mango passion fruit sour.
Is it good?
Yeah.
I'll be the judge of that.
I like it.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like it.
Like it? Okay. Yeah. I didn't think you were going to for some reason.
2 days in a row, I'm doing jalapenos. This is going to be bad. I know I'm going to have to share my food. You can't ever expect to go out with a girl and not expect to share your food. So I'm having to make a sacrifice here. I want everyone to think about poor Josh because instead of pork on my freaking loaded fries over here, instead of pork on my nacho fries, I got jackfruit. A round of applause for me. That way Arab Honey can have some too. Even worse is she got a chicken salad, so technically my meal is vegan and hers isn't. Here we go. I had to use a floor jack. This is what happens when you don't know what you're doing, which I don't. So this is trial and error. So everybody who actually knows how to work on gold wings, you people at home are going like, man, you're doing this wrong. And I'm just going like, man, you're right, I am. Oh, pro tip. Try not to spray brake cleaner into your beer.
Is there supposed to be a spacer there?
There's gotta be a spacer there. Oh, here it is.
Oh,
wow,
no.
Look at that. Well, at least we know it can go in and out yet. Got this together, I was just like, that doesn't look right. Yeah, so let's take that back out. Aren't you glad you came?
You know, for a guy that takes a lot of pictures, you take pictures of the wrong thing.
It's that I don't go back and look at my own pictures. That's the problem.
Hold on.
I'm not holding on, Eric.
So,
Just going. Watch your hands. We're fucking sending it, dude.
hang on.
I'm not gonna hang on.
But now you know how to do it.
Do I? You think I'm gonna remember? You think I'm gonna remember how to do that?
It's on a camera.
I don't watch my own videos. I can't stand that kind of ego death. All right, y'all, it's not really the next day. I mean, it's technically the next day. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. You got to get in working on this bike when you can, especially in the Florida heat. So when I woke up at 4:30 in the morning, I said, let's go get some more stuff on the Goldwing, because in yesterday's heat, I didn't get near as much done as I wanted. Although I did get the rear tire axle and everything fully mounted. So I'm gonna go ahead and attach that brake caliper. And then also, before I forget, let me go ahead and put some gear oil in this thing, because let me tell you, there's quite a few people in the comment section going like, hey, leave a reminder to yourself to remember to put gear oil on that. You would be surprised how often that happens, that you put everything together and go down the road and go, I forgot to put gear oil in it. Let me tell you, I almost forgot. So I'm doing that right now.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
When righty-tighty turns into righty-loosey, that's never a good feeling. Luckily, these things are pretty easily replaced. I just preemptively ordered one on eBay. It was like $5. There is a Honda dealership not too far away from me, and this is the same cap that was used on VTXs and a whole bunch of other bikes that were made fairly recently, so they might have one in stock. I'm gonna go check there. But if they don't, I'm gonna have to wait a few days for the one I bought off at Fleabay to come in. And I was unable to replicate the clicking sound in the rear end with it up here, and I was before, so I think that me greasing it fixed it, but until I can ride it, I'm not really sure. But I obviously can't ride it without an oil cover on the rear pumpkin, so I'm gonna try to get those threads, what's left over in there, I'm gonna try to get those out, and then until the Honda dealership opens, because it's still like 5:30 in the morning, I'm just gonna go ahead and start working on the front end of the bike. Okay, so this whole front wheel is gonna have to come off because the front suspension does need to be rebuilt, but also the calipers need to be rebuilt, so I'm gonna start with those. Well, I've never removed a front caliper from a Goldwing, but seems pretty self-explanatory. All right, I'm gonna do myself a favor and go ahead and pull off the brake line before I pull the caliper off, and immediately run into the problem of it's got some bracket here that prevents it from coming out. Got that out of the way, and that should, since there's no ABS on this thing, that should be it. Let's see how it is. I've said that should be it quite a few times on the Goldwing before. Usually when I say that should be it, that ain't it. Now I say that, maybe I spoke too soon. Okay, yes, that was it. All right, it's out. Yeesh. Yeah, that looks pretty nasty in there. I think it's mainly from the fork oil leaking all over these things, but I'm gonna go ahead and rebuild them just to be sure. They look pretty nasty. This guy's spiking a little bit. Come on. There we go. Definitely looks like it's in a little better shape than the other caliper, but still really crusty around those pistons, so I'm just gonna go ahead and rebuild both of them. Alright, after much struggling, the front wheel is off. I feel like that was a lot harder than it should have been, but maybe I can go ahead and get these fork seals replaced now. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and pull out these bottom bolts on here and get these drained. Hopefully I don't take a bath. Oh shit, there was definitely still air in that. I don't know how this one's gonna come off because the other one just sprayed fucking fluid everywhere. I don't know, there's only one way to find out. Oh, I know how that one's not coming out. Jesus Christ, dude. Okay, I'm not sure how this is gonna go because one, I've stripped this thing out. Two, it seems like the system is still under pressure because I cannot get this thing to freaking decrease. So, okay.
All right, I think I might have gotten that out. Yes. All right, I was afraid I was gonna have to drill this out. Luckily, I remembered the old freaking hammer Torx in it, like Shelby showed me. And that worked just fine. I'm gonna have to get a new bolt, of course, but at least I got it out. All right, just got back from the Honda shop. Was not able to get the parts I needed to complete the front suspension. They had to order some parts, had to order some bushings, had to order some bolts. It's not gonna be here for 3 days, so basically, I'm at a full stop when it comes to the front suspension. But I still wanna get as much done today as possible before I leave it for the day. I still got time to rebuild the calipers. I might as well get that out of the way. Might as well do it while I'm sitting here, so that's what I'm gonna do, baby. I wanna get as much done today as possible because even though it's going to take 3 days to get those parts in, I don't know when I'm going to be able to work on this again. So I got the time now. Let's knock it out. There we go. All right. We use a little bit of compressed air and hopefully push these things out. Nope, that's not going to work. Need a different tip. Well, I do not have the right piece of rubber to put on the end of my air hose to push those pistons out. So I'm going to go ahead and walk away from this because the frustration levels I'm experiencing right now are reaching the point where this is not fun. So I'm stepping away from this bike for a second.
Oh boy, you ever just need a win? Like, really need a win? I need a win right about now. Just like extreme frustration levels with the GL 1200 right now, and I'm really trying to do right by it for a couple of different reasons. One, I don't like to just throw something away, but man, I will tell you, like, when I look at the time and effort that I'm putting into this bike right now, I'm like, dude, I could replace it for $1,500. And I don't want to do that because that's just not the right attitude to have with the bike. It's given me a lot of smiles. I want to put it back on the road. But holy moly, just with a lot of frustrations going on in my personal life right now, sometimes I turn to wrenching as a release, and I know a lot of you guys do that. Just spending time on bikes and spending time working on them in the garage, to me, is cathartic. It allows me some measure of control over what I'm doing, because I'm going like, hey, I might not be able to fix all the problems in my life right now, but at least I can fix this motorcycle. Unless I can't fix all the problems in my life, and I also can't fix the motorcycle. Now I'm just like, God damn it. I definitely had to take a step away from that because I was just getting overly frustrated and I just wasn't having a good time anymore. And you know what? To me, working on motorcycles is a good time. It's not work. It's a good time. And the second it starts to become not a good time, I usually take a step away. But like I said, I needed a win. And so I might be hitting T-ball here, but guess what? I'm making a motorcycle run today, God damn it. And that motorcycle is going to be the Suzuki Savage. On my way to get a battery right now. Got a clutch cable in the mail. By God, we're making a motorcycle run today. It might not be the Gold Wing, and I might be playing T-ball here, but we're getting it done because Shadetree Surgeon needs a little bit of victory. All right, Cycle Gear, don't let me down. That'd be really the thing. Freaking swing past that truck and get hit by a car when I'm trying to have a win. But isn't that always how it ends up sometimes? Is like you freaking think you're gonna have a win. You're like, man, I got all my gumption up. I'm ready to go have a win. And then you get to the motorcycle store or Cycle Gear, wherever you're going, and they're like, yeah, we don't have the part you need. So fingers crossed, because that would just freaking kick me right in the dick. One good thing about Cycle Gear, it's right next to Harbor Freight. So yes, they did have the battery, and I was able to get the piece I need to blow the pistons out of those brake calipers. So maybe I'll even get 2 wins today. All right, parts acquired. Let's head back to the homestead, see if we can't make the trusty old Savage run once again. I should do a long trip on the Suzuki Savage. Rigid mount thumper? Hey, I took a long trip on my chopper, and that's a rigid mount 650. Why not on the Suzuki Savage? Like, obviously, you can take a Gold Wing on a long trip. You know, you can buy them for cheap. I paid $1,500 for this bike. But the thing about a Suzuki Savage, even though technically the Suzuki Savage costs more than this Gold Wing, I think think it was $2,200. A lot of y'all already have Suzuki Savages, but you don't have an extra $1,500 to buy a gold wing. So I ought to just show you guys, like, guess what? You can take a Suzuki Savage and do an iron butt on that thing to the mountains too. All right, well, let's get back home and actually see the Suzuki Savage move under its own power before I get too far ahead of myself planning a trip to the mountains on it. Nice 2002, baby. Oh, I'd love to have one of those. Love old BMW cars.
All right, even though I broke the bike, I'm actually the one who broke the clutch cable. I was trying to jump start it, and I put the jumper cables in a bad location. In a bad location, I mean they were touching the clutch cable and immediately melted through it. But it's Shay's bike.
I did not realize that was happening.
Yeah, that's what happened. But it's Shay's bike, so she's still got to fix it. Okay, we're just a few minutes into this, and Shay has spilled all the tools on the ground, and the ground's covered with gas. So, when I said she has to fix this, what I meant is I should probably be supervising a little bit better than this. Well, bad news on top of bad news on top of bad news. The first bit of bad news is I was hoping for a win today and have the Suzuki Savage running, but it's not going to be today because it's a build-a-battery, so that's going to have to go on the charger for a while.
I remember doing this for the first time when I was 16, and I was just like, what the fuck? I'm going to start a fire.
You're just like, why do batteries take water?
Danger water.
Yeah, that is definitely danger water. Well, it's going to turn into danger water. So here's the thing. We're not going to be able to start the Savage till tomorrow. And while Shay was filling up this, I got a phone call from Shelby in California. So you guys saw in a previous video that David's motorcycle got stolen, was in a high-speed police chase, was wrecked and totaled before they even got out of Florida. Well, I just got a call from, thank God everybody's okay. That's why I seem sort of calm about it right now. I just got a call from Shelby. He's in the hospital in California. He was involved in a hit and run. They did catch the lady. David chased the lady down, hit and run, left him on the side of the road. He's got a broken collarbone. The bike's totaled. They're somewhere like outside of just before getting outside of California. I'm just like, holy crap, dude. Cross-country trip, 2 totaled bikes, a stolen bike, and a hit and run. I'm flabbergasted right now. This literally just happened. I just picked up my camera. I just got off the phone with Shelby. The nicest people in the world, David and Shelby, were just like, this just mistreated by the universe on this cross-country trip. It really is, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Bad things happen to good people.
Yeah, and it's really upsetting. I'm not gonna lie, I'm like really upset for them because they didn't deserve this to happen. They're the 2 nicest people ever, and this trip was just a nightmare.
Not only that, but like David deserves to have a fucking vacation.
Yeah, this dude works 7 days a week, and this is how the vacation turned out. But hey, you know what? The glass is half full. Shelby is okay. I mean, besides the broken ribs and a broken collarbone and a bruised hip, he's not dead. So, I mean, we have to be thankful for that. You got to think about that. We're thankful for that. Anyway, I guess we'll pick this back up tomorrow when that battery's charged. Baby, I'll call that one a win.
Yeah, no coffee in there for all your orders that are coming up. Delivered by the one and only Milquetoast Pacific Coast, baby. All these shirt orders going out to you guys at the maximum speed of bland. How many different bikes have we delivered orders in now? It's going to be all of them. I would do them on the Suzuki Savage, but the luggage on the Savage ain't exactly, you ain't getting a lot in there, all right? Oh, we got a new seat for it. A lowered seat is coming soon. Everyone asks, like, can't you buy a lowering kit for it? I'm like, man, they haven't made this motorcycle in like 25 years. You can't buy anything for this bike. Yeah, definitely need to replace that solenoid. I mean, it runs just. The Suzuki Savage, more like the Suzuki Salvage. The LS650 rides again, baby. You know, it's a hell of a thing when I'm lower than Shay over here on this little tiny thing. I feel like a gorilla riding a tricycle next to Shay right now. This is talls and smalls over here. This is freaking, me and Shay look like Laurel and Hardy riding around these motorcycles right now. Give me a break. No matter how ridiculous I look on this motorcycle, I'm still gonna take the win. We made a bike that wasn't running run again. And yeah, all it needed was a clutch cable and a battery, but still, man, it feels good. I'm gonna take the W, baby. You gotta take them wins where you can get them. Did you put the kickstand down before you stopped? For safety reasons. That's her. That's Shay, Mrs. Safety. Oh yeah. Sorry, I was adjusting the clutch. Well, hey, no, it looks like you got it. All right, no, you got this. I'll still walk in with you. No, you got it.
This household and this business.
You're gonna have to get those. All right, I'm just gonna follow behind you and just pick up everything you drop, I guess. Can you open the door for me? My hands are full. Here. Wait. From the Pacific Coast to the USPS. Good luck, y'all. Here.
There's a person behind us.
I was trying to be. Whoa! I don't think that was a shocker to anybody, though. You got it?
Got it.
Are you getting shorter, or did the bike get taller? All right. Well, we got one win out of the way, and I might be pushing my luck here, but I think I'm gonna take my new rubber hose fitting to blast air into those calipers, and I'm gonna push my luck, and I'm gonna try to get one more win out of today and rebuild those calipers. Dude, here on these bikes, we look about as nerdy as you can get right now. We look like the secretary and the treasurer of the Mathletes Club out here. Well, if I'm gonna be pushing my luck, I'm gonna do it on the bike that gave me the W, the only W I've gotten in this video. Come. I do have a new solenoid for it. All right. Well, I don't know if we can really call it ramming speed on the little Suzuki that could. It's more like poking speed, maybe. We got her pinned, baby. Can we hit 80 miles an hour? I swear to God, it feels like you're on a Grom. I mean, this thing is so small on the highway, it feels ridiculous. But I don't know, man. I mean, it still does highway speeds just fine. It'll do 75, 80 miles an hour without complaint, or at least without too much complaint. I do kind of want to take this thing on a road trip just to prove that you can. I think that the biggest issue for me on this wouldn't be even the speed. Like, it'll do 75 miles an hour. As long as you can do 75, I think you're doing all right. I think that the biggest issue really just comes from the fact that it's a rigid mount, which, I mean, sportsers are too. People have been doing long road trips on rigid mount choppers and rigid mount bikes since way before I was born. When I say rigid mount, obviously, I mean, yes, it has rear suspension, but it has a solid mounted engine. Like, the engine is bolted directly to the frame. Just like an old Sportster, just like old Harleys, just like a lot of old bikes. And this bike is definitely a throwback. I mean, I think it was designed in the early 80s or something like that. So it has not changed since then. It has never gotten an upgrade. I think this is actually like a 2014 or something like that, but it's the same exact bike as it was in 1986. And even in 1986, this thing wasn't winning any awards for new design, okay? Even in 86, this was a pretty basic motorcycle. All right, what can we get up to here? 85, all right. Oh, I don't think I'd want to keep it at 85 for a super long time. I think it's a little happier cruising around 70, 75, but it's nice to know that 80, 85 miles an hour is available should you need it for but a short time. Short bursts only, I'd say. Oh yeah, the vibration, the difference between 70 and 80, especially in the handlebars, the vibration level, the difference is huge. Definitely a lot more comfortable around 70. Speaking of, let's get out of the fast lane. The Suzuki Savage has no business being in the left lane, okay?
Okie dokie. Now that I have something that will actually create a seal right here, I should be able to shoot these pistons out. Let's see. Should be able to. I've had enough losses lately that I'm not going to freaking be sure about anything until they actually come out. Oh, there's one. Can we get both? There we go. 2, baby. You see, that's why you always put a brake pad in there when you're shooting them out, because trust me, they come out with a bit of force. You don't want to shoot them into this because you could probably scar them up if it hit this metal. So what I do, and I'm sure a lot of people do this, is you just put a brake pad on the other side with the material facing up, so that's what they hit when they shoot out. And I would say that these definitely need to be taken apart, cleaned, and rebuilt for sure. This is looking pretty gross in there. So I didn't even know these were different, but I know that the front brake only operates one of the front calipers, and the rear brake operates one front caliper and the rear caliper. So I didn't even know these are actually two completely different calipers. Like, they have two completely different pistons in them, which means The 2 rebuild kits that I bought are only going to work for one of them. All right, I was able to get the other piston out of there with a little bit of finagling. Which is good because I really didn't want to have to buy new pistons. I mean, there's really no reason to. Not unless these things were really scored up, and they're not. They're just really dirty, but definitely was running the risk of messing them up trying to get them out. But I think I'm all right. This one actually has I might actually have to replace these anyway. I thought I was going to use these again, but that one actually has a little tiny pinhole of corrosion of rust right there. So I don't think that that's going to be very good for my seals. And that might have even been where it failed and where it started leaking brake fluid out right there. I'm not sure. Ah, well, I thought I was going to get away with not buying pistons, but looks like I'm going to have to go ahead and order a set. Well, I wasn't going to take the other caliper apart because I didn't have a rebuild kit for it, but after finding that rust speck on the pistons of I think it's the right side caliper, I'm going to go ahead and pull this one apart too and take a look and see if I'm going to have to order pistons for both of them. Remember, when you're doing this, watch your fingers. Okay, we only got one out there. Yeah, so that one's not coming out at all. It's not even budging. That is completely seized in there. Yeah, okay, there we go. All right. Judging from how hard these ones are coming out, I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm gonna replace all the pistons, not just the other ones. Yeah, these things look like they might have rust on them too. I'm gonna go ahead and just order new pistons. Man, this is all of a sudden turning into a little more of an expensive proposition than I first thought, but still a lot cheaper to do it yourself. God, none of this was looking good. Man, this is all really bad, man. I can't believe I was riding this bike around with all these corroded freaking brake parts on it. Surprised these things work at all. Wow, yeah, man, look at how much rust was in that slider there. That is not good. Yeah, there is just so much crud in here. Wow, look at how bad that is down there. You can look inside that channel right there, just how bad everything is. God, the slider on this one doesn't even freaking move. Come on, wow. That is awful. Wow, man. Well, you never know till you know, huh? Ooh, I'm glad I took these things apart. Of course, they weren't working, so I didn't really have much of a choice. I'm just gonna leave all this stuff to soak for a little while, because we've gone about as far as we can go right now. All right, guys, I'm hot, I'm sweaty. I had a win with the Suzuki Savage. I'm gonna call it a half a win on the front brakes. It's not a full win, we're gonna call it a half a win. I didn't get to rebuild them because it turns out I need new pistons, but at least I got them taken apart and the new pistons are on the way. As I said before, we're gonna go ahead and take those W's where we can get them, because when it comes to this Goldwing right now, the W's are in short supply. That's gonna about do it for this video. I just wanted to end this one with a Lee Stewart appreciation post. If you guys don't know, the orders that I just dropped off and everything you've gotten from me is all produced by Lee Stewart and Rogue Lab Manufacturing. A lot of you old school guys will definitely know who Lee Stewart is. We did years of Monday night live streams together. He's just been an e-friend, an online friend, because I've never actually met the guy in person for so many freaking years now. Kindred spirit up there in Canada land. And now for the past few years, we've actually done a lot of business together too. That's one of the most amazing things to me about YouTube, is not only have I met so many awesome friends through YouTube, but some of those friends have now turned into serious business partners. One of the things about Lee Stewart, not only in his stunting, not only in his art, not only in everything that he does, especially his videography, it's so much better than mine is. Like, I'm over here freaking throwing potatoes at the ground and Lee Stewart is over there flying freaking NASA rockets to the moon, okay? The guy, everything he does is next level. His editing, his camera work, his stunt riding, you freaking name it. The bikes he builds, it's so off the charts. And when it came time to make all my stuff, all the stuff for Brapstar, all the stickers, all the t-shirts, man, there was only one person I was ever gonna go with, and he's the only person who's ever made my stuff, and that's Lee Stewart and Rogue Lab Manufacturing. Because he doesn't let stuff leave Rogue Lab if it's not absolutely perfect. Every single design that you get, every single t-shirt that he prints is going to last. I have people who have these t-shirts and they've washed them 50, 60, 70 times they've washed these shirts, and the prints aren't cracking and the shirts hold up and they're just as bright and vibrant as the first day they got them. And trust me, that's because Lee Stewart goes above and beyond on everything he does. A lot of people wonder, where do you get your designs? How do you think of stuff? How do you make your stuff? Well, I'm telling you right now, go subscribe to Lee Stewart. Stewart. Go to his channel right now, which I'm gonna have a link down below. Go subscribe to Lee Stewart, because I think if you have an idea, go for it, man. I don't like to keep any secrets, okay? Especially not when it's my friends who are doing awesome stuff. So Lee Stewart, it was my secret. It's not a secret though, and that's one of the huge reasons why my stuff is so good. If you watch his videos, you'll see a lot of videos of him making my stuff. He's got a lot of stuff for artists on there. He's got a lot of stuff for screen printers, and I'm pretty sure now that he's got his new compound working out, there's gonna be some motorcycle content returning too, because that guy is one hell of a stunt rider. Lee Stewart and Rogue Lab on multiple designs that I have gone all the way from start to finish. When I say start to finish, from conception to completion, from no logo at all to creating the logo to putting it on a shirt. And trust me, not all logos are created equal. I know everyone's like, oh, my buddy's an artist, he's gonna draw me a logo. Well, let me tell you, not all logos work. Not all of them look good. Not all of them look good on t-shirts. That's what Lee Stewart knows how to do. That's what he knows how to make look good, and that's why I trust him with everything I do. Like I said, go subscribe to Lee. He's the freaking man. And if you're wondering why my merch, and I think it's really good, I do. Well, if you're wondering why I think my stuff's so freaking good compared to a lot of the other stuff out there, it's because of Lee Stewart. Anyway, so looking forward to you guys getting your packages, getting your stickers. I'm gonna do another run of shirts soon, again through Lee, so keep an eye on his channel because you'll probably see it announced there first. Anyway, that's enough blowing up Lee Stewart for right now. I'm just saying, I really appreciate the guy, and once the borders open back up and things are a little more normal, it's definitely on my list to go visit that guy. I'm gonna ride my motorcycle up to his compound in Canada land. All right, guys, that's gonna about do it for this one. Thanks for coming along on this this multiple day strange trip of mostly failures and a couple of small wins that I'm really gonna treasure. Till next time, y'all, keep it weird.